where the memories stay, past the fields and fences worn by yesterday. Pull up a chair, friend, come along with me. There's a story waiting round every old oak tree. Rusty's Backroad Stories, where the miles roll by with a little bit of laughter and a tear in your eye. So settle in close and let the memories flow. Rusty's Backroad Stories, down the roads we know. You're listening to Rusty's Backroad Stories.
Well, friend, every family has something that's been passed down. Maybe it's an old Bible, maybe a pocket knife, maybe your granddad's favorite fishing pole. Tonight's story is about an old pocket watch. It hadn't ticked in over 60 years, yet somehow it never stopped keeping time. This is the watch that waited. Just outside the little farming town of Oak Hollow stood a weathered farmhouse surrounded by pecan trees. Inside lived an 86-year-old widower named Henry Lawson. Henry wasn't known for saying much. Most mornings he'd sit on his front porch with a cup of coffee, watching the sun climb over the fields. In the pocket of his faded denim overalls rested an old silver pocket watch. It never worked. The hands were frozen at exactly 7:18. Every day Henry wound it anyway. Click, click, click. Neighbors thought it was simply an old habit, but Henry knew better. One October afternoon, a young reporter named Claire stopped by. She'd been writing stories about forgotten places and the people who still called them home. As they talked, she noticed Henry winding the broken watch. "It doesn't work," she said. Henry smiled. "No," he replied, "but it still reminds me when life changed." Claire asked if he'd tell her the story. Henry stared across the fields for a long moment. Then he nodded. "It was October 14th, 1962. I was 23. My little brother Samuel was 19. The two brothers had spent the morning repairing fences before deciding to fish at Miller's Pond. On the drive home, another truck ran a stop sign. Henry remembered the sound, the glass, the twisting metal. When he opened his eyes, the truck was upside down. His pocket watch had been crushed against the steering wheel, frozen forever at 7:18. Samuel didn't survive. Henry carried the broken watch every day after that, not because he wanted to remember the accident, but because he never wanted to forget his brother. Years turned into decades. Henry married, raised children, worked the farm, buried his wife, welcomed grandchildren. Through every season of life, that broken watch stayed in his pocket. One spring morning, Henry's youngest grandson, Caleb, asked about it. "Grandpa, if it doesn't work, why do you keep winding it?" Henry smiled. "Because love still needs tending." Caleb didn't understand. Not then. Years later, after Henry passed away peacefully in his sleep, the family gathered in the farmhouse. Henry had left each grandchild something meaningful: old photographs, tools, his Bible. When Caleb's turn came, the lawyer handed him a small wooden box. Inside was the silver pocket watch, along with a folded note. It read, "Caleb, this watch stopped the day I lost my brother. But every time I wound it, I remembered to be thankful for the time I still had. Don't measure life by what you've lost. Measure it by the people you're blessed to love today. And whenever life feels too busy, wind the watch. Take a breath Remember what matters. Love, Grandpa. Caleb sat quietly. Then he smiled through tears. The next morning, before heading to work, he slipped the broken watch into his pocket. Not because it told time, but because it reminded him how precious time really is. Today, visitors to Oak Hollow sometimes notice a small glass case inside the town museum. Inside rests a silver pocket watch, permanently stopped at 7:18. Beside it is a simple plaque. Some things stop ticking, but love never does. You know, friend, most of us spend our lives racing against the clock, always chasing tomorrow, always wishing we had more time. But maybe time isn't measured by minutes. Maybe it's measured by moments. The ones we spend with family, with friends, with the people who make ordinary days unforgettable. Henry's watch never ticked again, but every day he wound it. It reminded him to make every moment count. Maybe we could all use a reminder like that. Well, friend, thank you for spending a little of your time with me tonight. Until next time, keep your eyes on the road, your heart open, and remember, every back road has a story.